Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? I had one of those days. I have to admit, I had one of those days. And you ever had, I, I take that back. I had one of those weeks. Um, I don't even know where to begin with you guys. And I try to keep positive and try to, you know, think that everything's going to be okay and it's going to work itself out. And then there's just so many hits you could take before you just want to just throw up your hands and you just scream, what in the world is going on? And there are times where I look and I'm like, okay, Gigi, when I think back and, I kind of like reevaluate the situation, I'm like, maybe it was my fault. Maybe I could have done it a little bit better. Maybe I could have paid more attention to that. And I realized, let me give you an example. Um, I waited a while before getting my ID, my California ID renewed. Okay. And the reason for that was because I was going through a whole lot of mess. I, I was losing my place of 17 years. I was being kicked out of my place. And I think I told the story before. I was just going through a lot. And, my relationships weren't going good. I was just, it seems like everything was being taken away from me. You ever have that, like, feeling where there's nothing, everything you try to do, it just doesn't work, right? So I come home one day and there's a notice on the door, an eviction notice, 60-day eviction notice, right? And but before I finish telling the story, and I have to tell the story because I've been feeling some kind of way, trying to get out of this dark hole, right? Um, my name is Gigi. This is my channel, well, Hanging with Gigi, and I want to welcome you. Thank you for hanging with me, you guys. This is so awesome. And I want to be real and authentic. Sometimes, I know I'm looking a mess, and sometimes, I want to be able to come and talk to you looking like this, comfortable. It's a weekend, it's a Saturday, and I'm just having a laid back day. I'm feeling good. Well, I'm feeling so. I'm feeling sort of good. Like going in and out today for some reason. I'm like, one minute I'm feeling good, and the next minute I'm starting to feel like a little depressed and down on myself, and like going in and out. Is that bipolar? I hope not. I don't have bipolar, but so I started this YouTube channel and it's Hanging with Gigi. Please subscribe. You know the whole routine. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, invite people to help me grow this tribe. And the purpose for me creating this channel is, with us being in the COVID, you know, we're at the end of year 2020, but we've been in the COVID for a, almost a year, well, about a year. When did it start? March? I think it started in March. So almost a year, right? The COVID started in March. And so many crazy things have been going on. It's caused some families to end. It caused people to lose jobs and go into financial ruins. I mean, it caused people death and loss of family members. And I'm so sorry, for people that have gone through that. And at the same time, I've been hearing people saying, well, COVID has been, you know, something great for me. It's caused me to really take a look at myself, to really get to know myself, to sit down and be still and reflect, right? And so, it's been a little, good things for some people and a whole lot of bad for others. But for me, my situation started way before the COVID, and trying to find myself, trying to, you know, create success in my life and create something great and a, be a success at something, accomplish something other than just going to work and coming home and being on that treadmill and doing the same thing over and over and over again. Can you relate to that? Can you guys relate to that? And I'm like, I was like thinking about that today, and even though today on this Saturday, laid back, great day, um, I was just, it kept going back and forth to why is my life not the way I want it to be? You know, why isn't it? It's like all my life I settled. I was like, okay, I lived a life of mediocrity. And so there came a time in my life where I wanted something different. And so I would go, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I got into multi level marketing. I did that for a number of years. I made some good, met some great people, but I didn't make any money. I wasn't a success at it. And then I would watch videos or read books about people who have come from humble beginnings and had created something great. They were a great success and they didn't know anything. They didn't have, it's like they started not knowing nothing, you know. And I'm like, I'm taking those same steps. I'm like, I'm reading the books. I'm listening to the inspirational stuff. I'm doing the courses. I'm applying what I learned, and then I'm not seeing anything. And I'm like, what's going on? You know? And going back to the story, I know I started telling the story about how I I got this apartment. I lived in this apartment, I really loved this apartment. It was small. I'm not a grandiose type of person that wants like a huge house, with 6 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms and, a swimming pool in the backyard. At first I thought I wanted that just to say, hey world, look at me, look what I got. I got this big house. So I am a great success. And I realized when I got older that the only reason I wanted that was just to show off, was just so people could say, look at her. She's so successful. She is so wonderful. I want to be just like her. And then I grew out of that. I'm like, no, I don't want that because that is just show. That's just to show off, to make people feel envious of you. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that at all because during my journey of trying to grow as an entrepreneur, trying to have some kind of success, trying to accomplish great things in life, I realized my wanting to do it to show off changed to wanting to do it to inspire others to say, hey, if I could do it, you can do it also. And so it's been like a number of years that I've been trying to be a success online, wanting to own my own home. I do want to own my own home, but I'm not looking for this really big house. But I do want a nice home that I could call my own. And but I want to be in a financial space to do that. And it is so interesting. It's like I just found out that a person that I know, got this beautiful home with a fireplace, and you know, my son was telling me about it. You know, she got the, you know, this beautiful home with a fireplace and the, you know, large square footage and big backyard. And I was happy for her, but I was starting to feel a little jealous. And I was starting to feel like, oh, excuse me, you guys. I'm trying to adjust here. I was starting to feel sorry for myself. Like, why am I not having that? Where is my house? And she also got a new car. You know, this friend, this person of the family who's, you know, that my son knows. And I'm like, I started to feel a little jealous, you know? I'm like, where, you know, at my age, a baby boomer, I'll be 62. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'll be 62 December 31st. Um, you know, 2020, I'll be 62 before we go into 2021. And I remember when I was in my 50s trying to trying to make something happen, and when things didn't, let me start over, or not start all over, but let me share this with you. When things did not go as planned, and I was overwhelmed or confused, I would always quit, and then, you know, and just go back to what I knew, go into my comfort zone, right? And then after I finished licking my wounds, a few months down the road, I would see another message or another opportunity, and I would say, hey, that looks good. That looks easy. I could do that. And my mistake was trying to find an easy way out, and I didn't work on myself like I needed to. Number two. Number three, I made excuses. I made excuses, and I knew this, and it's like an addict, you know, an addict. Like, you could tell them, oh, get off drugs, but because of their addiction, it's hard for them to do it. Like, we're addicted to our habits, right? We're addicted to living a certain way, thinking a certain way, moving a certain way, you know, maneuvering in life a certain way that a lot of time doesn't serve us, you know, and we end up being our own worst enemy. And that's how I was. And I didn't want to look at it because it was just so darn painful. So darn painful. And so I would like kind of color code it to make it not seem, oh, this is not bad. I'm okay here. I could be doing worse, you know. And even though it's okay to live in a place of gratitude, you can be grateful for something, but still strive for something better, right? I mean, can you relate to that? You know, but before I continue talking, you guys do me a favor. Subscribe to my video. Hit the subscribe button. Also hit that notification button so whenever I decide to do another video, you're notified. And whenever I decide to chit chat, share some information about how to start your own business online, you'll be notified, and I can share that with you. Or you just want to be, I want to just come in here and inspire you. So you don't know when I'm coming in here. You don't know how I'm going to look, but keep an eye out for the notification. Give me a thumbs up. And if you find value in this video, go ahead and share it. So, needless to say, I'm back in it again. Found another online course that I purchased as an affiliate marketer. And this is an excellent course. Decided to stick with it. And this is where I'm like purchasing solo ads to get leads to my the offers that I offer, you know, following the instructions in the course. And you want to be consistent. You want to do this consistently. And he, one thing I liked is you have training once a week with him live, and I love that. So I'm going through the training, I'm following the instructions, and bam, I hit a roadblock. Something happens where I purchase some solo ads, and because these are like high quality solo ads that I've never purchased before, and I wanted to purchase with, and I'm gonna get back to the California ID and what happened with that. So this goes back to that. So hold on a minute, I'm taking the long route, y'all. So I get an email, and from this solo ad service company, and they said, well, we're going to need, because I paid with my credit card, and when you pay, and I purchased for like $345 for 500 clicks, right? And they said, well, if you're going to pay that way, we're going to need your ID to make sure that this is not a fraudulent purchase, right? And they have to do that. And so I'm like, okay, I took a picture of my ID. They said, we want to make sure the names match and all this. And so I'm like, okay, no problem. When I get off of work, because I still work a job while trying to run this online business and create financial security online, right? This is going to be a long video, longer than usual, you guys. So hang in there. So I took the picture when I got home from work that evening, sent it in, uploaded it, and sent it in, as requested. Then the next day, I get an email saying, oh, I'm sorry, we can't use this ID because it expired. It expired, y'all. And I'm like, oh, God. I mean, you just need my name. What, so I'm like going in my head, why does it matter if it expired or not? I'm still the same person if it expired or not, right? But no, they're just following the rules and regulations, And so that took me down a rabbit hole of trying to renew my ID. Now, granted, my ID had expired 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, right? And so I kind of like procrastinated in getting that taken care of. And the reason, and here's my excuse, there's no reason why. I just should have done it. I just should have done it. There's this quote that says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So when I caught myself making an excuse why I did not, why my California ID had expired and why I didn't get it done. You want to hear the excuse? Well, here it goes. I feel like that song. I wrote a song about it. You want to hear it? I was living in my apartment, for this nice little apartment place, for 17 years. I had a cute little dog, had a cute little cat. I was happy going to work and kind of like dabbling here and there in the entrepreneur online world, not really taking it serious, making it like more of a hobby. Now that I look at myself, that's what I was doing. I wasn't consistent. One minute I'd be like hustle, hustle, bustle, bustle, really focused. And then the next minute I'd be like a little slack. So, now that I think about it, I kind of look at my character and how I handle things and how I would do things, right? And I would like, when the time that I got really serious about trying to do a business opportunity and jumping in and get like really focused, is like if my boss made me mad at work. And I'm like, I'm sick of this. I'm going to get into my online business. I'm quitting that job. And so, that quote, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I had to like really step back and reevaluate myself, right? And how I would let my emotions guide and dictate my actions. And I realized that that is something I need to work on. I need to really work on that. So I can't blame nobody but myself, right? As with the procrastination issue. And I realized when looking back, Gigi, that's something that's followed you from when you were a young adult until now. So I have this habit. I think there's a book by David Covey. Is his name David Covey? Is it Seven Habits of Highly Successful People? And the funny thing is, I read that book, but I didn't apply it. I didn't really apply it. And I noticed that I would like read these self-help books and get the, the warm, fuzzy feeling, but I wasn't really doing the work because there's nothing fuzzy and warm about doing the work because the work is hard. The work is hard, y'all, and it makes you take a look at yourself. So here I am, 62. My son and my daughter-in-law, they are visiting here from Atlanta. They're going to be for the holidays because it's around the Christmas, New Year holiday. The kids are, somewhat out of school, the online school thing. And so they're going to be around for quite some time for like about a month or so. I ain't saying that. I love my family. I love my family. Um, but they're messy though. They mess up the plate. They don't pick up. They don't put things back. But I love them anyway. But I digressed. Getting back on point. So, that quote came to mind. The way you do one thing, Gigi, is the way you do everything. And until you learn to work through the hard stuff, then you're going to spend another year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years singing this same song. So going down the rabbit hole of getting my ID renewed, now we're in the COVID, the pandemic, where you can't go into the DMV, you can't walk in or anything. And this is what really messed me up. I went online to try to apply to upgrade or renew my California ID, and it says you don't qualify to renew your ID online. I'm like, what the heck? And then I called them and I said, okay, I called the number and they said, oh, you have a 20-minute wait. So I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, I'll wait 20 minutes. 20 minutes go by. The operator comes on. You have a 25-minute wait. So I'm like, okay, I'm sitting at work. I can put the bud in my ear while I'm working and I can do 25 minutes easily. 25 minutes go by. And yes, you guessed it. It says, you have a 27-minute wait. I'm like, these people aren't going to pick up the phone. And see, one thing about DMV, here I go. Before even COVID, they had the worst customer service ever, DMV and the IRS. So, it was just crazy. So it was like, they're not picking up the phone. It says I don't qualify to renew my California ID online. And I can't walk in. I can't make an appointment. And I tried to make an appointment online. and it would not let me. So I'm getting mad. I'm like getting mad, and I'm like, everybody's, you know, these people are looking at these different people are having great success, and like my son from the story, my son told me about his friend who, friend of the family who got the house, got the new car, and here we're in the pandemic making good money. I'm like, I'm not making no money, and 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 everything's going wrong for me, and I don't have my house, and I don't have my car, and I can't even upload my California ID. I was like, Gigi, cut it out. So I had to talk to myself. I had to put myself straight. And so it's like when things go wrong, I had to like reevaluate myself. And I noticed like it's just it's just crazy. So because we're creatures of habit, because we're used to doing certain things a certain way for so long, when we try to change, our subconscious puts us back to where we were, where we feel comfortable. But that comfortable place doesn't serve us, right? That place that we used to be does not work for us. So when you try to make that change, and change is hard, change is uncomfortable, right? And sometimes change does not come and happen in the time frame that you want it to. Sometimes it takes a minute for you to see a change. So your subconscious mind would like trick you and say, well, you don't have to do it today. You could just quit that because something better will come along. And then you'll start making excuses. I'm good at making excuses. But I had to say, okay, how do I work through this and and have like good spirits and feel good about myself, and also celebrate when others are doing good or having success. And me being a spiritual person and a child of God, I have to say, God, let your will be done, because God, if I'm doing it a certain way, if I'm trying to get it at a certain time and you're delaying it, it's for a reason. It's because you have something better in store for me as your child. And I like to think that. I like to believe that as your child, I need to be patient and stop being stop acting like a spoiled kid, having a temper tantrum when you says, no, you can't have that ice cream today, or you can't, drive that car. You're a teenager and your mom says or your dad says, you can't drive that car, or whatever, because they know that you're not ready. They know that you're not ready. And if they were to give it to you at that time, it'll probably be more destructive than helpful, than more helpful, like I said earlier. So, on that note, I just want to say this. Another thing, like I was saying, things going wrong back to back. My son came over, and I love doing videos, right? I like having him on videos and sharing the world, sharing him, with you guys to the world. So he came over. We did a video. I went on YouTube and clicked on the video on YouTube, and we talked. We chit chatted, and we, um, just had such a good time and everything, and talked to you guys, and we said hit subscribe, and we were bantering back and forth, having a good time. And I was like, oh, this is good. I'm like, this is good. I'm loving this. I can't wait for my viewers, my wonderful viewers, to see this and see my wonderful son, who happens to be an entrepreneur also, like his mama. And I go to the video, it ain't there. There's no video. I'm like, what in the universe is going on, right? So, on that note, I don't know what happened. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. And so I guess next time when I see my son, thank God modern technology. If he happens to go back to Atlanta before we could do a video sitting next to each other, we could do a Zoom or whatever. So, you know, I'm starting to feel that way. I was feeling some kind of way, and all through the whole week I've been having like these feelings of not feeling at ease or comfortable or feeling a little down. And I don't know if it's because of the holidays or what, but I do want to say that sometimes we go there. Sometimes, like the holidays could be a trigger, and cause us thinking about certain things that put us like in a dark place. But we really got to talk ourselves off the ledge. And we really got to say, count our blessings and thank God and be thankful and not go around or not entertain anything or any conversation or people that will put us and take us to that dark place. So, in saying that, once again, my name is Gigi. Welcome to and thank you for being on my channel, Hanging with Gigi. And as I mentioned, I help people